Thursday, y'all. Don't you feel good? Don't it just make you want to dance like this to be so close to the weekend? Yes, you want to just get your boogie on. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome back, Skye Squad. We are back in the building. And we are as giddy as Ashley is doing this little dance right here on the gram. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for capturing this. And welcome back to the show, y'all. It's your boy DJ Richie Skye, and we got some things to talk about today. Now, I know. That episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last night was off the chain, and we're going to discuss it around 2 o'clock, okay? So make sure you guys come back round them parts, okay? Round them parts, because we're going to talk about that episode. We got to break that thing down. But before we do that, we got to give y'all some news, okay? And the news is popping like popcorn today. We got some interesting information about Kenya Moore, some conflicting reports that we're going to discuss, and I want to know what you guys think with this cash shakeup in Atlanta is going down. And then we also got to talk about this, a little shakeup to the Real Housewives Ultimate Vacation Season 2 cast. Okay, just a little bit of touch up right there. And we also got to talk about Gizelle is doubling down on what she said about Ray. And it gets even worse. Okay, so we're going to talk about that at the very end. So let's go ahead and get this thing into high gear. Okay, now the first thing that I want to do is talk about, let's go ahead and get right into the real tea. Okay, now I had seen this. When was it? I saw it yesterday someplace else, but I happened to see it today because someone had tagged me. Who was it that had tagged me? I had just seen it because it was ATL Pretty Girl. Thank you, boo. Just want to give a shout out to ATL Pretty Girl. Now, if you head on over to the Ricky Smiley Morning Show, okay, on the Instagram, you will see that they have posted this. It says, "Will you miss Kenya and Cynthia on Real Housewives of Atlanta?" And so they say that there are rumors that Kenya Moore and both her and Cynthia Bailey will not be returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Gary with the T reported that only Kandi Burruss and Portia Williams will be returning, and Bravo will be adding new Atlanta socialites in their 30s. So they say that since news broke out, Kenya allegedly took out Real Housewives of Atlanta out of her bio, unfollowed Andy, and removed a birthday post that she sent to him. Okay. So what I'm going to do is in real time, let's check it out. Let's go to Kenya Moore's page. Okay. The Kenya Moore. And that is correct. She has taken Real Housewives of Atlanta out of her bio, but that could have been out of her bio for some time now, because you know they tend to do that between seasons. So I'm not going to really count that as a sign, but let's see here if she is following Andy Cohen or not. And as you guys know, you can check that on your phones. Okay. Let's see here. She's still following Bravo and Bravo Watch What Happens Live, but I don't see any follow of Andy Cohen. I wanted to do this real time while I was doing the video, and his Instagram handle is Bravo Andy. So let me go back to Kenya's page. I just wanted to double check, and you are correct. There, she is no longer following Bravo Andy, but again, she's still following Bravo TV and still following Bravo Watch What Happens Live, and it's likely because she will still be on the Peacock network, okay, because she will still be featured on the Real Housewives All Stars, or the Ultimate Vacation, as they say, for season 2. If you go to her page, that's still up there because she got the center star amongst the All Stars, and she says that it's coming in November, okay, of this year. So we'll be able to see more Kenya Moore on at least the Ultimate Vacation. Okay. Now here's what I'm thinking. Okay. I had been thinking that Cynthia was going to be let go. Everybody had been hearing this. You know, this has been no secret. She's actually talked about the possibility of not returning. And I think most people would agree that her time has run out, and we wish her well. We do. We absolutely wish her well. But with Kenya, I find it very interesting because once I saw this, what I started to do was I started to, poke around a little bit because I was not convinced that this was true. But let me state this. To me, if it was true, it would sort of make sense because honestly, I feel like the two main faces in the center of Real Housewives of Atlanta right now are really Kandi and Portia. And I know people are going to disagree with that because I think that Kenya brings a lot to the show. But I also think that in my mind, I had thought to myself, the dynamic between Portia and Kenya will probably never be anything more than just simply cordial at best, because it is clear that these two women will probably never like each other or get along. And I had remember thinking to myself, if we're focusing on, let's say, how Potomac works, the centerpieces of that show are Gizelle and Karen. And everybody else kind of is in the periphery of those two of that relationship. And it's somewhat the same with Salt Lake City now. If you think about it, the two people kind of at the center, their friendship dynamic is probably the center of the chaos. And that is Jen Shah and that is Heather Gay. And so when we look at even Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from before, it was Kyle and Lisa because they were the only two OGs left standing. And if you build a show around a friendship like that, I feel like you would have something that could work. And it does seem to me like if anybody had the opportunity or the chance to at least somewhat reconcile, it could be a friendship between Portia and Kandi, because I feel like we've been kind of rooting for that to happen for some time. But I don't know. Okay. Now, what I also will say, and again, it doesn't make for a good watch when two people will never be friends. But again, I think Kenya Moore adds a lot to the show. And it would surprise me if she was not on this coming season. It just doesn't. I don't know if this makes sense to me. And of course, I could be wrong. But I've heard that Kenya is a solid in coming back. And also, too, if you head on over to bravotv.com, they just literally posted yesterday about Kenya Moore, about, her digging up some old photos from her modeling days at age 17. So they're still posting her on her site. And as you guys can see, this was just from September 8th, which was yesterday. So it doesn't make sense to me. Also, too, if you guys head on over to Entertainment Tonight, you guys will see that Kenya Moore is confirming a big Real Housewives of Atlanta cast shakeup, and as she talks about the ultimate girls trip drama. Okay, so she's basically saying that there will be a definite cast shakeup. This is what she's telling Entertainment Tonight's Laura Zima, and she says some new faces and some old faces not there. So that kind of leads me to believe that she would definitely be coming back if she's talking about it, right? We know that Kandi's coming back because Kandi kind of confirmed that. And we kind of also feel like, Portia would be coming back as well. But, Kenya also said this about when asked to, who she might want to see return. She says, I love the oldies but goodies. I love the OGs, as they call them. And she also name dropped Phaedra as a possible re-addition to the cast. Okay. She says the fans love Phaedra. I don't think it would be a bad idea to have her back. I think it would be very, very interesting. So, she also says this: Atlanta never disappoints. I just don't think, and again, I'll place this article. This isn't the article from here. What you see on the screen is from Entertainment Tonight. And again, I'll place it in the description in the bio so that you guys can actually go and check that out for yourselves. But I don't think she would be talking about it in the way that she is if she wasn't coming back, right? So I don't know what to believe on this. And, these are conflicting sort of reports and details that are coming out, and we're all glued to see what Atlanta's going to bring because we know that there's a cast shakeup happening, right? And then to take things a step further, she does talk about the girls trip drama. She says that there's a lot of drama. It was really amazing. It's different from anything she's ever experienced. And that there's drama that starts off as soon as the girls get on the plane. Somebody calls somebody a B. They break the fourth wall a lot. so she said that everybody really brings it. So I'm really looking forward to that on Peacock. And if you don't have Peacock, it is free. So you guys can check that out when it comes out in November. So I did want to talk to you guys about that. Okay. Let me know in the chatterization what you think. I honestly, we have to bow to Gary with the T, because he's one of the originators in this game and the Ricky Smiley Morning Show. And I'm just I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it would be smart to not have Kenya come back? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the chatterization down below. Now I want to move on to your girl Gizelle. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys have peeped this on the Bravo TV site, but again, I try to tell you guys to keep your eyes open and your ears peeled, okay, to what's going on in Potomac with regards to the Bravo Insider First Looks, because every week we get a preview for the new episode before it comes out, and they usually give us like the first 6 minutes of the episode, and they have not disappointed. We get to see the end of this altercation between Candace and Ashley, and I'm going to reserve my thoughts and opinions and questions for you guys with regards to, I know that there's been a lot of talk about the body, whether or not it was body shaming that Candace had, whether or not she was body shaming Ashley or not. We'll talk about that in this coming week's review, next week's review. But here is where I want to point to you guys something that was very interesting that occurred. It was interesting to me that in this scene, we get the conclusion of the altercation between Candace and Ashley. And that's very interesting how that sort of resolves itself. And then we get Mia inviting the ladies to a goddess brunch or a goddess lunch or something like that. And this is after Gizelle gives a toast to Robin. And at that point, Mia takes the opportunity to tell Gizelle that, hey, Karen wanted me to relay the message to you, as we saw in this previous episode, that if she texts her and tells her she's sorry for using the word death in the same sentence as Ray, then she will forgive Gizelle. Now, again, this was something that had happened years ago, but obviously Karen is stating, it affected her children or whatever. Okay, well, we'll rock with that one for now. But anyway, Gizelle says this in response. She says, you can tell Karen that both her and Ray will be dead before I ever apologize. Now let's break that down. Okay, first of all, she's using that word again in a sentence as it relates to, Ray, and this time Karen. Now, I understand what she is trying to say here is, I will never apologize. And she's throwing in the word dead to re-emphasize her point, and I'm sure to further get under Karen's skin. But I just also think that, to me, it's just in poor taste. And you can kind of see the ladies around the table, even looking at Robin's face right here. She's kind of like, oh, and then, Ashley basically has to tell her like something like, don't say that or whatever. And you can see Candace doing this, like, it's not a good, I just personally don't think it's a good look to talk about your cat. I mean, I understand what she's trying to say. I do. I really understand what she's trying to say. She's trying to emphasize a point that she's not going to apologize. I just think that was a poor word choice, especially in light of, where we are as a country right now and the things that we're kind of all going through and seeing on a day-to-day basis. I just personally don't like that word and mixing it with somebody that you work with, even if you don't like them, because honestly, it's real. It's a real thing. And I don't feel like you play with that word, to be honest with you. That's how I feel about it. And again, I understand, and we'll talk about this after Sunday's episode, but I understand that, a lot of times in the housewives world, these women will argue and they will go for the jugular, and whatever they say or whatever insult they hurl will be acceptable for some people, because some people feel like, well, that person also said something about this person 2 years ago or last year or yesterday or whatever. I get it. But I also think that there has to be a certain line that you just never cross with your castmates. And I think that using the word death or dead or whatever like that in reference to anything with them is just not a cool thing to do. That's just me personally. But again, I could be in the minority on this, and I'm willing to to be in the minority on that one. But I just feel like that's just not something that you do. But I want to know what you guys think. Chime down in the chatterization and let me know what your thoughts are about it. And I will be honest, initially at first, I thought it was kind of a reach when Karen brought it up because it happened so long ago. But now that Gizelle is kind of doubling down on it, I'm kind of like, I think that's in poor taste. But again, let me know what you guys think. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, which I meant to talk to you guys about before the Potomac thing, was the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, because we were talking about it earlier with Kenya. And so I wanted to bring this to you guys' attention, and some of you guys may care about this, some of you guys may not, but I know that I care about it because I actually like this cast member. So as it turns out, your girl Tamra Judge will be actually entering the chat for the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, okay? So according to E! News, Tamra will be joining, and they say that, again, the season will be filmed at Dorinda Medley's Bluestone Manor in the Berkshires and will likely air in Peacock early 2022. Now, here's the gotcha on that situation. There were reports that Vicki, for whatever reason, and I really won't say it right here on this channel because I don't want to, be talking about nobody's, I just don't want to talk about it right here on this channel. But they're saying that she may not be able to attend. Now, I'm assuming that Phaedra and Eva and Jill Zarin, Brandy Glanville, Taylor Armstrong will all still be in attendance, and that maybe she will be replacing Vicki Gunvalson. But I think that having Tamra in the mix is very good because Tamra knows how to stir up the juice and the drama. So that should be very interesting. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to our friends over at the Real Housewives franchise. Again, all links will be in the description down below, so you guys can actually follow up on these stories at your leisure. But I wanted to give you guys that bit of information as well. Now, with that being said, let's get into this. We will be doing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills review today. Yes, we're going to be doing it today, likely around 2 p.m. or 2:15 p.m. I will place the link, a placeholder for it so that you guys can actually see and you guys can be ready for that when it's time to go down. I typically don't review Beverly Hills on this channel, but we sometimes cover a little bit of news surrounding it. But this episode and last episode were so juicy, and just looking at the feedback on Instagram, I feel like I need to touch on it because I got a couple of thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do that in just a little bit. So please don't miss that. And if you're watching this video later, just know that you guys can go back and watch that recap as well if you're interested in that. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video.